They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.
And what is going on, people? It's the Xbot 448. And guys, I hope you're having a great Sunday. I know we're coming off of, in this channel, a really awesome episode of Next Podcast, which was last night. Shout out to my brother Rand Outdoor for joining us, being our special guest. It was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun, a lot to talk about. It was really cool. What is up, Jesse Darby? Welcome to this live video. And guys, I decided to do this. I know you're probably not used to me doing a kind of like a live video or any type of content on Sunday, but I'm looking on Twitter and I'm seeing so many people kind of reference like Sony's strategy when it comes to moving forward with the PlayStation 5 and really hyping up this whole hardcore gamer scenario. And I don't see a lot of people who are as confused about it as I am, because for lack of a better term here, I think people have short-term memories on what Sony has said just this past year when it comes to games and stuff like that, and what are they really talking about in terms of like catering to the hardcore gamer and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be really interesting. What is going on, Fanatical Gamer? Fanatical Gamer 2, actually. So there must be a Fanatical Gamer 1 out there. But what is up, Fanatical Gamer 2? Good to see you. What is up, Vogel? My brother. What is going on, Zero Cool? Guys, like I said, I've been like looking at Twitter throughout the past couple days, man. Ever since Sony talked about they're going to be catering to the hardcore gamer. Yo, what is up, Christopher Hart? Christopher, you are going to enjoy this. Or maybe not. But yeah, Sony is confusing their kind of like message moving forward. And let me get a drink real quick. A la Crap Gamer, let me get a drink. There we go. Vogel. Yeah, I know, brother. The Mets get beat by everybody. But, dude, I am in no way ever going to flip-flop. The New York Mets are my team. Of course, Christopher, you're not confused. But you don't even know why I'm talking about this confusion when it comes down to Sony's messaging when it comes to the future. They say they're gonna cater more to the hardcore gamer. I saw MBG make a video talking about more exclusives for the PlayStation 5. More exclusives. Now, for people out there who follow MBG, you must have got really excited to see that. But what if somebody that works for Sony, that is actually the head of the first-party studio division, a la Sean Layden, actually came out and said that they are going to focus on less exclusives and just make those games bigger. That's a little weird. That's a little confusing, guys. I'm going to pull it up. Hold on. Let me just situate my computer here. I can't see the chat right now. So huge shout out to the chat. What is up, guys? We are talking about Sony's confusing message. And yes, it is kind of confusing, guys. Let's take a look at a couple articles here. All right, so we're bringing up the whole window capture thing. Let's check this out. PlayStation might focus fewer but bigger games in the future. That's weird. Like, what is MBG talking about in terms of making more PlayStation exclusives? So, while PlayStation 5 is still on the horizon, and guys, check this out. This was back in February of this year. Sean Layden came out and basically said he has a plan according to latest coverage from CNET, and CNET is where he actually did the interview. The game studios under PlayStation are struggling to make games, and internet is to blame. While there is a shortage of good games, the internet is making it harder to make games for the studios. That is why Sean has a new plan. Fewer but bigger games might be the new slogan for PlayStation. I'm going to switch back over and see what you guys are talking about in the chat. What is up, Brian V? Good to see you. What is up, Mr. Glass? Guys, this is an article from February catering to the hardcore gamer. That's a little bit weird. You have Sean Layden talking about fewer exclusives. Now, granted, bigger games. He also talked about refocusing on multiplayer as well. But the people out here on Twitter and out on YouTube, some pro like Sony guys and stuff like that, ignore articles like this and tell you guys you're going to be getting more exclusives. Single player experiences, exactly what you've been getting now. But Sean Layden is refocusing on multiplayer as well, and he's talking about fewer but bigger games. Jason Jones, they only saying that because Sony is rumored to buy some studios as well, I guess. Yeah, but here's another thing, and this is something you guys know about. All right, but Christopher, more games like MBG was talking about? Who would you believe? Sean Layden or MBG on YouTube? I want to see that answer, by the way. But not only that, and let me go back to it. I'm going to take it off the chat again, so this way I can see what I'm doing. Guys, you all remember this. And I'm switching it over right now. It's taking a second. Sony and Microsoft team up on cloud-based gaming and entertainment. Huh. That's interesting. Let's see. Let's read into this. It says companies are planning to work together to build future cloud solutions in Microsoft Azure that will support gaming and content streaming. Sony will also use Microsoft data centers for its existing game and streaming platforms. But guys, they're talking about streaming not being a thing, really. They're going to cater to the hardcore gamer. So why are they doing this then? If they're hooking up with Microsoft, because let's be honest here, Microsoft, when it comes to a cloud solution, Microsoft is number one. The Azure cloud platform is literally number one. So they're definitely going to use that. All right, Jesse Darby, I'm going to believe that had a PlayStation before. I never heard of an idiot flip-flop son of... Oh, okay, I don't even know what's going on. All Day Digital, what is up, brother? Good to see you in the chat, man. It is really good. Yo, All Day is an awesome dude. Freaking love talking to him. Not so much on Twitter. There's like this whole audience and everything like that, but he's a really down-to-earth gamer. It is good to see you in the chat, brother. But All Day, I'm not talking about Phil. Brother, I don't know why you're bringing Phil up in this. I'm talking about PlayStation and their messaging. Of course, they did say that streaming is down the line. Of course, they're looking at Stadia, down the line in terms of competition. So you guys know what that means? They are going the exact same route eventually, like Stadia. Well, maybe not like Stadia so much, but definitely in the same route as Xbox is going, with having that option to stream games everywhere as well. Guys, what do you think is going to happen once they actually catch up to these companies and they are able to do this? Their messaging is going to change. I don't know why everybody is feeding in to this whole marketing thing, talking about well, we're catering to the hardcore gamers. Have you ever noticed that PlayStation will look at whatever, or Sony as well, will look at whatever company they feel is its competition, and they will market against what that company is doing. When in all actuality, they are working on the same things. I can't even say behind the scenes because the information is right there, guys. Sony stays consistent, unlike other gaming companies. How does Sony stay consistent? Christopher, beginning of this generation, Sony delayed so many first party games. All right? That's the reason why you all of a sudden had a flood of these first party games this generation on the PS4. It's because they were all delayed and then they all came out within the last parts of the last years of the generation. I mean, it makes sense. Whereas Xbox, yes, there was Xbox was in danger, was in absolute danger of being non-existent until Phil Spencer came in and he pitched a plan to Satya Nadella. All right, and that plan was with Game Pass, was streaming, streaming your games anywhere, was focusing on services as well as the console and spreading more into the PC space. And Satya said, "Hell yeah, we are going to do this." Yeah, but Christopher, they still delayed those games. Now, when you're looking at it, people are like, well, moving into the future, like Xbox has no games, this, that, or whatnot. Now, you already know, I've already went into the Xbox community, letting them know that for a game like Bleeding Edge, which is a new game made by a new first-party studio, instead of just automatically saying, this isn't the single-player experience and all this good stuff, take a page out of like the side of pro Sony guys. Be excited about it. Try it out. Get excited to try it out and see what you like about it. It's going to be in Game Pass. You don't really have to spend anything to play it. $10 a month, play it for a month when it comes out. You don't like it, you don't have to buy it. And that's something as well. This is something that PlayStation does not have. A Game Pass. Now, whether you like it or not, Game Pass is a huge benefit to the gamers out there. Having that library of games, when Gears comes out, I'll be able to play it in Game Pass day and date. A brand new first party game I'll be able to play. I'm excited about that, right? But coming back to PlayStation, guys, they said the direct opposite of what people are saying right now in terms of the PlayStation. But people are getting excited saying, hey, they're for the hardcore gamers. At the end of the day, guys, every corporation, that's Microsoft, that's Sony, every corporation is about not necessarily the gamers. They are about their profit. And like I said, I included Microsoft in that because it's absolutely true. Microsoft feels they have the infrastructure to put game streaming out there now. Sony doesn't have that. If Sony had the infrastructure to really try to put out the streaming and stuff like that now, I can guarantee you they would. It's their marketing, guys. This is not anything that says, wow, Sony is so much better than Microsoft. Sony's so much better than Google. Sony is so much better than Nintendo or anything like that. This is Sony's marketing ploy. This is what they do. This is what they have done. All right, you look at throughout this generation, you've had Sony Facebook websites use Forza screenshots and call it Drive Club. You've had Sony come out with advertisements stating that Watch Dogs was 1080p, 60 frames per second on PS4. This is their marketing strategy. And I know there's people in the chat that I don't know what it is. If they have like a plushie doll of Yoshida and they hold it close to their chest at night to go to sleep. At the end of the day, Yoshida does not have a plushie of you. I guarantee it, man. No, Phil Spencer doesn't have a plushie of me either. It's a business, guys. So people are taking everything that is being said as this is the way it's going to be. When in all actuality, you see companies like Google coming in with game streaming. You're looking at Microsoft with Xbox and xCloud getting into game streaming. The only reason why Sony is saying, you know what, not right now with that is because they don't have the tools to do it. If you notice, the only difference here is when it comes to Xbox, they're using their parent corporation's server farms. All right? Sony doesn't have those. Sony has Gaikai. And you know what Gaikai is. You can't even say that that is a quality type streaming service. I have had so many people tell me about Gaikai has absolute garbage when it comes to latency and everything like that. There is no way in hell that they can use Gaikai right now to stream to every single device and do it anywhere near what Google is doing with Stadia and what Xbox is doing with xCloud. The only reason. So Sony is taking their ball and going home when it comes to that. And they are marketing a different way. That's all it is, guys. Let's see. I know that, but better first-party games. Zero cool. Better first-party games. All right. Sony didn't have to deal. PlayStation, the division, didn't have to deal with what the Xbox division had to deal with. All right, this past generation. If you feel like Sony had the better first-party games, well, that's on you, brother. I feel like the multiplayer game this generation for me was Halo 5. Absolutely insane multiplayer. Loved it. Sunset Overdrive is an incredible game that I feel got shitted on. All right, not that big of a Rise Son of Rome fan, but when it comes to graphics, I thought, graphics were good. The story was pretty cool. I feel like Rise Son of Rome more closely kind of like mirrors the Sony first party. Like, to me, it's all graphics, interesting story. I played Uncharted 4. I played Infamous Second Son. Infamous Second Son, I enjoyed. But other than that, I enjoyed games like Resogun, Ratchet and Clank, God of War 3 Remastered. I really love God of War 3 Remastered, by the way. Probably my absolute favorite game on the PS4. But with that being said, there seems to be a certain blueprint over at PlayStation with their first-party studios. You have to make a game that's in third-person view. You have to have a heavy story-driven narrative. You can tack on multiplayer elements, which some people like, in terms of like The Last of Us and stuff like that. But it really seems like they even use just about the same engines, the same assets for every single first-party game that comes out. Dude, I don't like that. I don't like that kind of like mirror image just with a different story and a different character. I don't like that. Me personally. All right? I like having diversity. All right? I like having a, 4-on-4 multiplayer online experience made by a development team that is known for their melee combat mechanics like Bleeding Edge. I do like smaller cartoony titles like the game Battletoads. I like a bunch in terms of all that. But that's just me. But at the end of the day, when you hear that, oh, Sony's for the hardcore gamers and stuff like that, I don't understand why people ignore the past articles by, first off, in an interview with Sean Layden, who heads Sony first-party studios, all of them. He's the leader of all of them. He's on top of that tree. Talking about, we're focusing on less exclusives, but bigger games. And we are going in on multiplayer. All right, which is a great thing. A great thing. I'm glad that Sony decided that they are going to refocus on multiplayer-driven games as well. Because that's something I feel that Xbox has an edge in. It has a lead in when it comes down to it. But don't ignore what Sean Layden says for a marketing ploy about what's going to go on moving into the future with PlayStation 5. It just doesn't make sense, guys. I don't know. That's pretty much it for now. I don't know what you guys think when it comes down to it. Again, they are doing a marketing strategy here. They don't have the infrastructure to do game streaming as quickly as Microsoft can, as quickly as Google can. And if Amazon wanted to jump into that ring as well, because those are the three main kind of like server farms out there, they would be able to do something. Sony cannot do that. So why that you would do your marketing going against all that? Just like, it's not ready yet. And you know what? When it comes to Google, when it comes to Microsoft, I think they also know it's not quite ready yet, because they are waiting for 5G to come out in the major cities in the United States to really hammer it home. All right? It's going to do well when it comes out for certain people. And you know what? These companies are fine with that. But these companies are also going to be known as the first companies to get into it. They are going to be established as the ones who drove the game streaming forward. Sony isn't, because they can't do it. All right? And if you can't do it, you don't market something you can't do. You market against what you cannot do. Sony cannot stream to multiple devices the way Stadia and xCloud will be doing. Like I said, that's pretty much it for now, guys. If you want to, hit that thumbs up button if you like the content, you like the topics, you like the gameplay that you're seeing right now as well. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, definitely subscribe. I'm going to be doing more of these. I'm going to do more kind of like pre-made videos that come out and stuff. I know I haven't done too many of those in quite a while. I like kind of like the live scenario. I like seeing what people think about this, like right off the bat. What people think about my topics. Yeah. Bleeding Edge and Battletoads. Yes, 2 completely different games. I am down. Guys, you got to remember, when it came to my PS4, my favorite games, and I will give you the list of my favorite games on my PS4. God of War 3 Remastered, Infamous Second Son, Disc Jam, Ratchet & Clank, Resogun, and Gang Beasts. Check that out. That is a diverse lineup. All right? That's a bunch of different games that I have enjoyed on the PlayStation. All right? But like I said, guys, that's pretty much it for now. As soon as this video gets processed, definitely leave your comments, all that good stuff. Definitely subscribe. This is the home of the next podcast every Saturday, 7 p.m. Thank you guys for all your support, and I will be seeing you guys again real soon. Have a great night, everybody.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.